Have you ever wondered why some countries are better at producing certain goods than others? And more importantly, why countries still trade even if one of them is better at producing everything? That's where the concept of absolute advantage comes in. Absolute advantage is a term used in economics to describe a situation where one country, company, or individual can produce a good or service more efficiently than another. In simple terms, it means producing more output using the same amount of resources or using fewer resources to produce the same amount. This idea was first introduced by Adam Smith, one of the most influential economists in history. He used this concept to explain how trade between nations can be beneficial. Let's break it down with a simple example. Imagine two countries, country A and country B. Country A can produce 10 cars or 5 computers in a day. Country B can produce 5 cars or 2 computers in the same time. Clearly, country A is better at producing both goods. That means country A has an absolute advantage in both cars and computers. So here's the question. If one country is better at everything, why would it trade with the other country at all? This is where people often get confused. Even though country A has an absolute advantage, trade can still happen because of something called comparative advantage, which is a different concept. But focusing only on absolute advantage, it simply tells us who is more efficient at producing something. Now let's bring this closer to real life. Imagine you and a friend are working together. You're faster at cooking and also faster at cleaning. That means you have an absolute advantage in both tasks. But if you focus on what you're best at and your friend helps with the other tasks, you can still save time overall. That's the basic logic behind how economies and trade can work. Absolute advantage is all about efficiency. It answers the question, who can produce more with less? Countries with absolute advantages often have better technology, more skilled workers, or access to natural resources. For example, a country with rich oil reserves can produce oil more easily than one without. That gives it an absolute advantage in oil production. However, a common misunderstanding is thinking that absolute advantage is the main reason countries trade. In reality, most trade is driven by comparative advantage, not absolute advantage. Even if one country is better at everything, both sides can still benefit from specializing and trading. So, what's the key takeaway? Absolute advantage means being able to produce more efficiently than someone else using the same resources. It's about who is better at making something, but it doesn't fully explain why trade happens. It's just one piece of the bigger picture. And once you understand absolute advantage, you're one step closer to understanding how global trade really works.